Humanity walked away in silence. Then the Galactic Council begged them to return. HFY HFY stories. The Galactic Council believed humanity would always need them. That assumption destroyed an empire older than Earth's recorded history. For nearly 4 centuries, humanity served as one of the youngest species within the coalition. Officially, humans were junior partners in the Great Galactic Alliance. Unofficially, they were laborers, soldiers, engineers, explorers, and emergency responders for civilizations too proud to admit how dependent they had become on the newcomers from Earth. Humans repaired failing infrastructure no one else understood anymore. Humans patrolled pirate sectors where ancient races refused to risk their own fleets. Humans negotiated ceasefires between species that had hated each other for millennia, and when disasters struck, it was almost always human ships that arrived first. But despite everything humanity contributed, the Council never treated them as equals. The elder species smiled politely while dismissing human proposals. Counselors praised humanity's enthusiasm while quietly excluding them from major decisions. Every request for equal voting authority was delayed. Every petition for independent territorial rights was buried beneath endless bureaucracy. Human representatives endured insult after insult, while the Council continued taking advantage of their loyalty. At first, humanity tolerated it. Then they adapted to it. Finally, they began preparing for life without it. The turning point came during the Karthik Plague. A bioengineered pathogen swept through 12 systems in less than 3 weeks. Entire worlds collapsed under quarantine. Trade routes vanished overnight. Panic spread faster than the disease itself. The Council froze. Committees formed committees. Debates replaced action. While the elder races argued over liability and jurisdiction, human medical ships crossed infected borders without permission. Human doctors worked until exhaustion killed them. Human cargo fleets delivered medicine to hostile worlds without demanding payment. Human engineers built orbital hospitals in regions the Council had already abandoned. By the end of the crisis, humanity had saved nearly 8 billion lives. The Council rewarded them with sanctions. Officially, humanity had violated containment law. Unofficially, the elder species feared the political influence humans had gained. For the first time in galactic history, ordinary citizens across dozens of worlds openly praised humanity more than the Council itself. That terrified the ruling powers, so the Council responded the only way declining empires ever do. They punished competence. Trade restrictions targeted Earth industries. Human fleets were barred from several core systems. Council media outlets began describing humans as unstable, emotionally aggressive, and dangerously independent. It might have worked against another species, but humans had already learned something important. The galaxy needed them far more than they needed the galaxy. The realization changed everything. No threats were made. No speeches were given. Human ambassadors did not argue. They simply stopped attending council sessions. At first, nobody noticed. The council was enormous. Hundreds of species participated. One absent delegation meant little. Then, human logistics ships quietly withdrew from coalition supply chains. Maintenance crews vanished from orbital stations. Joint patrol fleets returned to Earth-controlled territory. Medical missions stopped renewing contracts. Human navigators resigned from interstellar traffic coordination. Still, the Council dismissed it. "They are protesting," one counselor declared confidently. "They will return once economic pressure increases." But the pressure never worked, because humanity had been preparing in silence for decades. Secret shipyards hidden beyond mapped territories suddenly became active. Independent colonies announced withdrawal from coalition authority. Automated manufacturing worlds previously registered as resource outposts revealed themselves as fully operational industrial hubs. Humanity had built an entirely separate, interstellar infrastructure, while everyone else underestimated them. And then one day they left. No declaration, no farewell, no war. Human fleets simply disappeared beyond the Perseus Divide. Trade routes went dark. Embassies emptied. Even human civilian populations on alien worlds departed with impossible speed, as if evacuation plans had existed for years. Within 6 months, humanity was gone. The Council celebrated. Official statements called it the peaceful removal of an increasingly disruptive species. Several elder races toasted what they believed was the restoration of proper order. Then the shortages began. At first it was small: cargo delays, power fluctuations, maintenance failures, nothing catastrophic. But modern galactic civilization had unknowingly woven itself around human systems. Humans had maintained 73% of deep space jump gates. Human software coordinated interstellar freight routing. Human reactors powered thousands of stations built by species that no longer understood the underlying technology. For centuries, elder civilizations had outsourced difficult, dangerous, or tedious responsibilities to humanity. Now nobody remained capable of replacing them. Entire trade corridors collapsed. Agricultural worlds starved because shipments never arrived. Orbital habitats lost atmosphere after neglected systems failed. Pirate empires surged across unprotected sectors. The Council ordered emergency mobilization. It barely mattered. Their fleets looked powerful during ceremonies, but human officers had commanded much of coalition strategy for generations. Without them, coordination crumbled. Then came the Silence Wars. Nobody knew who attacked first. Some blamed pirates. Others suspected opportunistic border empires. Several historians later argued the conflicts were inevitable once humanity vanished, and the illusion of stability collapsed. Whatever the cause, the galaxy burned. Ancient alliances shattered overnight. Worlds once protected by human mediation descended into total war. Refugee populations reached numbers never before recorded. Entire species faced extinction. And through it all, humanity remained absent. No transmissions crossed the Perseus Divide. No fleets returned. No diplomats answered. For the first time in recorded history, the Galactic Council experienced fear. Real fear, not fear of invasion, fear of abandonment. 3 decades after humanity's departure, the Council finally admitted the truth. They could not survive without humans. An emergency summit convened on the dying capital world of Elysian Prime. Only 42 member species remained. Hundreds of seats sat empty forever. The great chamber that once symbolized eternal galactic unity now resembled a mausoleum. Supreme Counselor Varesh stood beneath dimmed lights and delivered words once thought impossible. We request contact with humanity. Not demand, not summon, request. The message repeated across every surviving communication network. No response came for 7 months. Then every screen in the council chamber activated simultaneously. A human appeared, old gray-haired, calm. Behind him stretched a skyline unlike anything the council had ever seen. Towering cities orbited artificial suns. Thousands of ships crossed the stars in disciplined silence. Humanity had not collapsed after leaving. It had evolved. The old man studied the chamber quietly. Many counselors felt shame for the first time in their lives. Finally, he spoke. You need help. No one denied it. Supreme Counselor Varesh lowered his head. Yes, the human nodded once. You called us reckless, primitive, dangerous. No answer came. You sanctioned us for saving lives. Several counselors looked away. You exploited our labor while denying us equality. The chamber remained silent. Then the human leaned forward slightly. And now you ask humanity to save the galaxy you nearly destroyed yourselves. Varesh forced himself to speak. Yes. For several seconds, only static filled the chamber. Then the human asked the question none of them expected. Why should we? No prepared speech could answer it, because there was no justification. The council had spent centuries taking humanity for granted. Now survival depended upon the mercy of the species they had discarded. Finally, Varesh answered honestly. Because we were wrong. The human stared at him, not angry, not triumphant, simply tired. We know, he said softly. Another silence followed. Then the feed widened. Dozens of humans entered view behind the old man, military officers, scientists, governors, workers, ordinary people. Humanity had clearly debated this moment extensively. The old man folded his hands. We left because staying meant becoming servants to civilizations too arrogant to change. His gaze hardened. We built something better beyond your borders. Images flooded the chamber. Human worlds flourishing beneath vast orbital rings, cities powered by fusion stars, joint councils where artificial intelligences, colonists, and humans governed equally. No caste systems, no ancient bloodline hierarchies, no species dominating another. The council watched in stunned silence. Humanity had achieved in 30 years what the galaxy failed to achieve in 10,000. The old man continued. We did not contact you because we believed the council needed to confront the consequences of its own corruption. He paused. But humanity has not forgotten who we are. One by one, human fleets appeared on the chamber displays. Thousands of ships emerging from hyperspace across collapsing sectors. Relief convoys. Medical carriers. Defense armadas. Not invading, helping. Counselors stared in disbelief. You're returning? Varesh whispered. The human shook his head. No. Confusion spread across the chamber. We are not returning to the old system, the man clarified. That galaxy is dead. His expression became cold steel. But we will help build what comes after. Within weeks, human fleets stabilized collapsing trade routes. Within months, piracy vanished from key sectors. Human engineers restored failing infrastructure once considered unrecoverable. But this time, humanity imposed conditions. No species would hold permanent superiority. No civilization would monopolize power. Every member world would contribute or lose representation. Artificial intelligences would possess recognized rights. And most importantly, no race would ever again be treated as lesser because it arrived later to the stars. Some elder species resisted. Humanity ignored them. Because the balance of power had changed forever. The surviving galaxy no longer feared human aggression. It feared losing humanity again. Years later, historians would debate when the Galactic Council truly fell. Some argued it happened during the Silence Wars. Others believed the collapse began with the Sanctions after the plague. But most agreed on one truth. The old galaxy ended the day humanity walked away without a word. Because only after humans disappeared did the stars realize who had truly been holding civilization together all along.